Greetings, YouTubians, and welcome back to Wayne Sharp World, where we are at the beginning of another Monday, meaning another episode of Wayne Sharp Week, highlighting the knives that are going to be in my pocket for the next 5 days. Now, before I go into this, I want to give a quick shout out to all my sponsors up here: DLT Trading, Kershaw, Mojave Outdoor, and White Mountain Knives. Guys, look these retailers up for all of your knife and EDC needs. It's because of them I can do what I do on such a regular basis, and I greatly appreciate their support of my channel. Now, with that being said, let's get right into this week's carry, because I got some new knives. I actually have a few new knives coming this week, too, that I'm very excited to get in hand. You know, I kind of went through a little period just recently to where my excitement for knives was kind of starting to dwindle a little. It was starting to die down, not go away or anything, but I think everybody that is in the hobby, into collecting and using and EDC gear and whatnot, you know, you kind of go through these phases sometimes where you're just not super excited. Not as excited as you used to be or are at other times. And sometimes you just need to refresh somehow, whether it be, you know, take a step back, take a breath, slow down a little, or just find something new that excites you. There's a bunch of different ways to go about it, and to be honest, I don't exactly know which way I went. I just know that I'm starting to feel refreshed again. I'm getting excited about certain things, and I've got a couple knives this week here in this week's carry that I'm very excited about, and then I have a couple coming in, like I said, that I'll probably do unboxings of that I'm super excited about. So with that all being said, let's get started with the list, and we're going to start off with one that I unboxed last week. This here is the Kershaw exclusive Boker Quaken Air with Purple Haze fat carbon fiber. I'm pretty sure it's called Purple Haze. I think there might be another actual name for this type of carbon fiber. I know it's from fat carbon, and I think it's Purple Haze, but it may be something else purple. I don't know. If you know the proper terminology for the name, let me know in the comments. But nonetheless, what we have here is, in my opinion, a very sleek, attractive gentleman's folder, but a very long gentleman's folder. This is not, I would not consider this a small knife by any stretch of the imagination, but it still has a lot of characteristics that go into what I think make a very nice gentleman's knife. Sleek, slender, carries well in the pocket, carries very discreetly in the pocket with that nice deep carry clip. You're only going to see about that much of the knife sticking out. So no issue there whatsoever. Even most of what you see is a lot of black, so it'll hide itself very well. Not a very long pocket clip for as long as this knife is. So in terms of knife to clip ratio, I am a big fan of that. As you can see, perfect centering on this guy too. Boker did a fantastic job on this run of Quaken Airs. There's the full-size Air like you see here, then there's also the light. I will have them, of course, linked below with most of these knives you're going to see. I should be able to have links for, but just a fantastic little piece. The action, the flipping action on this, it's so good. I gotta say, I am impressed by Boker recently. They really are doing some good things. They're cleaning up some loose ends that I would find on other knives I reviewed from them. And overall, I see their fit and finish going up. They still do some things that kind of irritate me, and now's not the time to talk about it. But in terms of just this knife, it really is a fantastic one. It's one I enjoy a whole heck of a lot. The Kershaw exclusive Boker Quaken Air. And next up, I have a brand new knife that I just did an unboxing of for you guys yesterday on Mother's Day, because I wanted to carry it and I was so excited. I wanted to get something out there for it. And this here is the Kaiser Roach Mini. And I'm not going to say too much about it because I have a full review of this knife coming. I'm still in the review process of it. I'm going to put a little more pocket time on this guy. There's a lot of things that I really like about this knife. And I'm also finding some things that I wouldn't say are bad. Definitely not negatives, but some things that I'm noticing that, I don't know, that maybe I would change, or maybe some things that I would like to see changed. But at the end of the day, it's very good. If you're on the fence, I don't want to delay a purchasing decision because I know these have been selling out fast at a lot of places. I will say this. If you want one, I would recommend buying it. I do think it's a fantastic knife. Like I said, there's some little things that I might nitpick on it, but overall, in terms of fit, finish, build, blade, which I already pointed out, the hollow grind on this blade, I mean, this is a budget knife at $75. It's very much a budget knife. But the grind on this blade is anything but that. It is an absolutely phenomenally thin, slicey grind that stays thin a long ways up the grind. It's very, very impressive. The most impressive grind I've ever seen on any budget knife, whether at Kaiser, Civivi, or whoever. Very, very, very impressed with this grind on this blade. So that's all I really have to say about it right now, other than than what you guys saw on the unboxing. Action's very good. It's the Kaiser action you would expect. Ergos are fantastic. There's some things that I really, really like about this knife. I can't wait to share the full review. This is probably going to be one of the more detailed reviews of a budget knife that I've had in quite a while, because there's just so many things I'm noticing on this knife, and just a lot of things Kaiser did right, and then some other things that I'd like to maybe see in the future, not just on this model, but other models. I don't know, this knife is really, really warming up to me, and it's just very different. This is, in my opinion, this is kind of like the next level of budget knives from Kaiser. It's hard to explain right now. I'm going to put it all into notes, and I'll have it all in my full review of this guy, but really excited to bring you guys the full review of this guy, the Kaiser Mini Roach. Very, very nice little budget knife from Kaiser. Next up, carrying that Mini Roach, reminded me how much I love the Kaiser full-size sheepdog with the micarta scales and the flipper delete and the blade cutout. This is one that, yeah, it's just that good. I don't plan on ever getting rid of it for the price that I believe is $79. I think $79 for this guy. Buttery smooth, drop shut action. Middle finger flicks just fine. You can thumb flick it very, very nice. For a blade cutout, this is probably the easiest blade to thumb flick, in my opinion. Sometimes I struggle with thumb flicking a blade cutout due to the shape of the blade cutout, but this one is just, I feel like I'm using a thumb stud, which I really do like a whole lot. This also has a very slicey edge, coming in around 17 thousandths, I believe. A nice high flat grind, so no issue there. Excellent cutting geometry. Very nice clip on the back that's deep carry, all flushed up, nice and level with the scale. Nothing done wrong here on this guy. This is, in my opinion, by far and away the best version of the sheepdog that's ever been released. And I hope Kaiser sees this and makes more models like this with the contoured scales, but maybe use some type of carbon fiber and maybe just a stone wash blade instead of a black wash. But man, this clip, keep this clip. This clip is money. Excellent deep carry clip on this guy. Just a really, really good knife. Man, I'm running out of words for some of these Kaiser knives. They have really kicked it up this year. Particularly, they've always been good, and they continue to get better, but this year has just been a statement from Kaiser. Next up, we have the Spyderco Paramilitary 2. Why? Because I haven't carried it in a very long time, and that's really the only reason I have to put it in the pocket this week. It's just, it's one of those iconic models. It's those designs. In my opinion, the Paramilitary 2 and Paramilitary 3 are the exact same knife, just different sizes. Some people would say there's a little more to it than just size, but I disagree. The design is the same. The only difference is the size. So I don't really, when it comes to, I've had so many people ask me, do I want a Paramilitary 2 or should I get a Para 3? My question is, what size knife do you want? Because they're both gonna, I do think the Para 3 feels a little better in hand for me. I don't know why I'm getting off subject talking about a PM2 and a Para 3, but because I'm carrying the PM2 this week. But they both feel good. If you want a little more handle, the PM2 is great. Action's so good on this. This is actually the DLT exclusive M390 blade that I put some sharp dress knives, carbon fiber scales on, fat carbon, of course. Just excellent. It really is. There's a reason that the Paramilitary 2 keeps selling and people keep making new versions of it, and it keeps. It just works. It feels very good in hand, very slicey, utilitarian style blade that has a very nice strong tip. I wouldn't say super strong, but a very nice useful tip with a very nice belly, slicey edge, ergos that are very secure. Don't have to worry about anything like that. And then once you put that lynch clip on it, you are good to go. just an excellent knife, all around an excellent knife, and one that I can say this, I will always have a paramilitary 2 in the collection. Just depends on whether or not I want to change the scales or do something to it. Customizing these things is just too damn fun because there's so many options, but you just can't go wrong with a good Spyderco PM2. Last up, we have probably my favorite production folding knife in the collection right now, the TRM Shadow. It's production, but it's hard to get, but I just can't deny how good this guy is. I love this nice wide slicey blade, the CPM 20 CV, the deep carry clip, the contoured micarta scales, that just everything on this knife is executed to about as perfect can be for what you're shooting for, especially at this price range. $280, all American made, this level of detail and fit and finish. It's just good. The shadow lock is incredible. The tolerances, I feel like that isn't mentioned a lot on this particularly this TRM Shadow, this model from TRM. The tolerances are very impressive for a model using G10. And that may sound weird, but it seems like, you talk about Chris Reeve and Titanium and a lot of the other, big American small batch producers that are making things out of titanium so super accurate. I feel like you have that level of accuracy with G10, and I don't know if that's weird. I don't know. I'm not very experienced when it comes to milling and everything that goes into, using a CNC, any type of CNC operation, to be honest, but I just really get a crazy good feel with this knife in hand. It's so smooth, and like I said, I can adjust the pivot without making the blade go off center. As you can see, this blade is perfectly centered, and I can adjust the pivot, loosen it or tighten it without the blade moving back and forth. That speaks to excellent, true precision that I really do appreciate with any manufacturer, especially one like TRM that I'm such a big fan of. It's just it's a win all around. So very pleased with this Shadow. I hope someday they can have more of them available so everyone can get their hands on them, because it's definitely one of the best. What category can I put this in? Because it's definitely one of the best. It's one of the best knives under $300, completely made in America, I've ever handled. We'll put it that way, because the fit and finish and action quality on this is so good. Most other knives made in America of this type of quality and action are going to be well north of $300. We'll put it that way. So at $280, this is an absolutely phenomenal piece. So there we go. There's this week's lineup. Let me know what you guys think. Very excited to share my new knives coming in with you guys. Probably do a couple unboxings this week. I got a knife review for you, and I still got a list that I've got in the queue. I'm waiting to get out there, but a lot of things going on my end. Hope you guys are all doing well. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and until the next one, I'm out.